Hi everyone, today's video is going to be all of my guinea pig hay racks. First of all, I have these two green hay racks which were purchased from Pets at Home. These were the first hay racks I ever got, and to be honest they were kind of a waste of money. I've never really used them much. I used them quite a bit at first, but like when I found different hay racks I stopped using them because they were just kind of useless. Like they only open out to about there, so you can barely get any hay in it, and like the bars are really close together, so it's quite hard for them to get the hay out of. So yeah, these ones aren't my favourite. I really wouldn't recommend them, but that is probably one of the most basic hay racks you get, and that was the first one I got. The next hay racks are these ones, and these were purchased from the Harrogate Small Pet Show a couple of years ago. So these are better than the ones I've just shown you, but they're not my favourite. You still can't get a massive amount in there. It's fine for like 2 guinea pigs, but probably not big enough for the amount of guinea pigs I have. It came with these like little holes in the side, so you can just like cable tie it to the grids of the cage or the bars, and you can also like screw it into the wood if you have a wooden cage. So yeah, I think these ones are okay. They're not my favourite, but they have been useful. Next I have another one of these metal hay racks, but this is bigger. It's about twice as big. I do like this hay rack. I think it can contain a lot of hay, and I like how the gaps in the metal are quite large, so it's easy for them to get it out of, and you just basically like hook it onto the grids or whatever your cage is made from. So I think this is quite a good hay rack. Again, this was purchased from the Small Pet Show in Harrogate a few years ago, but I believe this was from the company Trixie, so you can get them online if you're interested. But yeah, that's just another one of those hay racks. The next hay rack is this wooden one which opens up like so. I really like this hay rack because I think it looks nice and natural, and I like how you don't have to hook it onto anything. So if there are like no bars on your cage, you can just like open it out because it doesn't need to hook onto anything. So I do like this hay rack, and I think you can get a decent amount of hay in there. The only downside to this is that the guinea pigs like to go underneath and kick it over, so I often find it like that when I leave it in the cage. So that is a downside, and they always seem to knock it over, which is really annoying, but I really do like the way it looks, and I like the amount of hay that you can get in there. So yeah, I do think this is a good hay rack. This was purchased from Pets at Home. I would recommend it, and although they do knock it over a lot of the time, I do think it is a good hay rack and I really like it. So that is the wooden hay rack. The next two hay racks were purchased from B&M Bargains. I seem to like buy everything in double, I don't know why. I think it was because I had Pudsey and Brownlee living next to each other, and I wanted them to have like somewhere to sit next to each other because they were living in separate cages, they had been separated, but I wanted them to be close to each other. So they lived in like a CNC cage, and they had like a divider down the middle. So I kind of put the hay racks like that on the divider so they could both like eat together and sit under the hay racks together but not actually be together. So it was a good way to get them to sit near each other, and it definitely gave them some protection because it was like a little hidey house itself. It did make a little sheltered area for them, so they did love to sit under there. I haven't used them since we changed around the cages, and I just haven't really needed to use them. I think they're quite good. I got this from B&M Bargains. I think it was quite cheap, and it's meant to be used for like shower gel and stuff. You put it in your bathroom and put like everything like that in it. But I thought it would be a really good hay rack, and yeah, I think it's quite good. The only downside is that the bar spacing is quite close together, so it's quite difficult for them to get the hay out of, but they can always reach up and over. It is easy to attach to the cage because you just hook it over Next I have these two flower hanging baskets, and I believe these were both purchased from garden centres. The first one we got a few months ago and the other one we got only recently, and I got another one because with the guinea pigs being in the outdoor enclosure, I wanted to provide them with more hay racks just to ensure they were eating enough. So I got some more just so they could like eat in different places outdoors. So I really do like these hay racks. I think that they provide a lot of hay. You can get plenty in there, as you can see, and it just comes with this like hook thing that you can hang on to anything that you have. So yeah, I really do like these hay racks, and the spacing is very big, so it's easy for them to get the hay out of, and I think they're really great. The only downside to them is that some guinea pigs, like Ruby, like to jump inside the hay racks and yeah, just sit on the hay. So that is a downside, but I think these will be great to use in the outdoor enclosure. Next, I have this hay ball, and this is from Pets at Home. And it actually came about this big, but we just stretched it open because I heard stories about not this hay ball, but like some of the hay balls that you could get. And guinea pigs have been known to get their head stuck in them, and I was kind of worried that could happen. So what I did was I just like stretched it and pulled it for ages, and then it just made it a bit safer for them, and I don't think there's any way they'll get their head stuck in this one. And especially as it's like springy, so like if they do, they can just pull it out. Whereas with the rigid ones, if they get their head stuck in it, it's difficult for them to get out. So I think this is a much better design. It just comes with this like hook on the top, so you can attach it to like the bars of your cage or anything like that. And there's like a little bell on the bottom, which is quite annoying, but yeah, I don't really mind. You can get a decent amount of hay in there, especially once you stretch it out, because there is a lot of room in there. And yeah, I think that is a good way to like contain your guinea pig's hay. So the next hay rack I have is not really a hay rack, it's more of a hay box. So here it is, and I'm not sure how well you can see this because it is quite big, and I don't know if it's like on camera very well, but it's basically just a fruit crate, and you can get like fruit and veg crates. So this was free, obviously, just comes with like fruit and veg. I lined the base of it with lino, and then what I tend to do is put a lot of wood shavings in there, and then I put the hay on top so they can use it as like a little hay box, and they can also pull the hay out of the sides. So it is kind of like a hay rack, but a little bit different. The guinea pigs like to snuggle down in here and sometimes sleep. So that is quite a good way to contain your guinea pig's hay, and I think that the guinea pigs quite like it. And obviously it's free, so that is another bonus. So yeah, I do quite like these. I don't really use them that much anymore because I think they do take up a lot of space, but they are quite good if you have a lot of room. The next hay rack I have is this bag dispenser. This was purchased from IKEA and it was very cheap, so definitely worth it, and I'm glad I bought it. So you can either cable tie it this way or this way. I have tried it both ways, and when I had it this way, the problem was that the guinea pigs were jumping into this area here, and I just didn't like them sitting on the hay all day and urinating on it, and I just didn't think that was very nice. So then I decided to move it this way, and this was much better because the guinea pigs obviously couldn't get in here unless they could jump really high. So it was much better this way, but then they discovered that they could squeeze through here, which was kind of very annoying. I think it was only really Hazel and I think Miffy as well who got in there because they are the two smallest guinea pigs, so they can squeeze through like small places. I even tried putting loads of hay in here and just like jamming it full so they couldn't really squeeze through, but they still managed to get through this gap. So I think if there was a way to block this off, it would be much better. Or if you have big guinea pigs, it would be really great because they wouldn't try and squeeze through like mine did. So yeah, this is a great hay rack and definitely great because it was so cheap. The next hay rack I have is this one. and this is meant to be like a flower thing, flower planter thing. My mum just got this for me today, so I have never tried it out with the guinea pigs before, but I think it will be really good. So this is going to go in the outdoor area, and I think that it will be great because, as you can see, the inside is really big, and I think that the flower planters are so great because you can get a lot of hay in them. The spacing between like these bits, I don't know what you call them, is quite large, so it is easy enough for them to get the hay out of, but at the same time it's not big enough for them to squeeze through, hopefully. So this should be really good, and I'm not too sure how you attach it to anything. It just has these little bits here. I'm not really sure how you do it, but yeah, it was $2.99, so I think that is quite a good price, and I think it will be a really great hay rack. So the hay racks I currently have inside the guinea pigs enclosure are these bent grids, and I just kind of bent these into a semicircle shape so they would fit against the grids on the side. I cable tie these on, and I think they're really great. I think that they can contain a lot of hay, and they just seem to be working really well. So yeah, I really do like those, and I think that they are one of the best hay racks I have, and definitely one of my favourites. So this is the final hay rack I have, and this is in the outdoor guinea pig enclosure. So this is just inside the hutch. We had to like cable tie it to these hooks and then put this piece of wood here just to keep it in place. So that's how we attached it, and I think that it's a great size. You can definitely get lots of hay in here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!